To truly understand a person, you must first understand their fears, because the essence of intimate relationships is actually a massive projection of fear. For example, anxiously attached individuals fear abandonment. Avoidantly attached individuals fear being controlled. And those with disorganized attachment have both fears simultaneously. So if you really want to get to know someone, the most direct approach is to figure out, where are their fears? First, look at what they hate most. What a person despises most is often the part they fear most within themselves. For instance, if someone extremely hates stupidity, they're essentially afraid of weakness. The parts we hate in others are often exactly what we least allow ourselves to show. That side that's repressed, denied, and most painful. Take avoidantly attached people as an example. They can't accept partners weaker than themselves, and particularly hate when their partner acts stupid or is irrational. You might just accidentally do something small wrong, and they'll criticize you or immediately distance themselves. The reason behind this is they never received unconditional love as children. Once they performed poorly or made mistakes, they'd face criticism or punishment. Over time, they developed the belief that only good performance makes you worthy of love. They don't believe in truly unconditional connections between people, feeling that once they mess up or aren't smart enough, they'll be rejected and abandoned. So they work hard to stay strong and can't tolerate your mistakes either. The closer you get to them, the more easily you trigger their fears, and the more likely they are to transform that fear into emotional attacks. So remember, the more someone hates something, the more likely it hides their deepest fear, the part they're most afraid to face. Second, look at their defense mechanisms. Fear itself triggers defense. All the defense mechanisms a person develops are essentially protecting themselves from being consumed by fear. You just need to observe. When they face pressure, conflict, or questioning, how do they react? For example, some people will distort facts, demand you prove your innocence, or even use silence, denial, and topic changing to avoid issues. These behaviors indicate extreme internal narcissism, afraid you'll expose them, oppose them, or escape their control. It's not that they can't understand your logic, but they can't bear the feeling of narcissistic injury. Even if you present evidence right in front of them, they'll deny it to the end. Even if they admit it, they'll say, "You made me do it," shifting responsibility to you. Why? Because these people have never truly completed the construction of their self, still retaining immature childhood mental structures. Their inner world is extremely chaotic, and once fear is activated, they immediately project that chaotic emotion onto you, maintaining their psychological defenses through "you're wrong and you made me do it." So you'll find you can never win arguments with them. Even after going back and forth with tons of words, there's ultimately no substantial content, leaving you in self-doubt instead. Third, look at what points make them lose control. The less someone can control their behavior, the more easily they completely break down at certain points. And that's exactly what they fear most in their subconscious. For example, just one teasing comment and they suddenly explode emotionally. A trivial little thing makes them throw things and scream. This isn't random, it's their inner trauma at work. It could be childhood wounds or major events during their development that left difficult to process emotional stress responses. If someone consistently loses control over things you can't understand, and you can't handle those emotions either, you need to be alert, because those moments of losing control contain their most real fears. If these fears aren't addressed, they might become extreme, violent, throw things, with emotions intense enough to hurt others. And this is their true personality foundation. Not that they're in a bad mood, but that they fundamentally can't regulate themselves. Remember, people's words and actions can be packaged, but fear doesn't lie. How someone appears under fear is their most authentic self. So to understand someone, don't just listen to what they say, or only look at how much they seem to love you. Observe where their fears are hidden, because where fear lies is where their personality boundaries lie.